I can actually reprogram my subconscious mind to allow me to even get women to start approaching me, to get women to even invite me home, and have a certain level of consistency and ease in my dating life that I'd never experienced before due to belief systems. And I've started to experiment with this, with specific visualizations. Then also on top of that, guided meditations that allowed me to identify specific core beliefs that I could then identify, recognize, accept, realize that they were no longer serving me, change the belief system. So grab a new belief system that I believe was going to serve me more, integrate that into the subconscious, then all of a sudden within physical reality, for the first time in my entire life, for the first time ever, which had never happened before, women started actually actively approaching me in bars and clubs. Girls were randomly sitting on my laps and like hitting on me. I wouldn't even have to invite girls home. Girls were inviting me home. You can literally get to the point where you can integrate belief systems like that on a consistent basis to create the reality in which you prefer. This is real. This is my experience. And I've noticed over and over again with clients that truly integrate the belief system work of what we teach, they get the craziest results. So what we'll jump into now, boys, as the first section of today's topic is going to be belief systems. So I want to go pretty heavy on this because what you're going to find is me and Ben have the ability to teach you all the correct social skills. We can teach you the framework. We can teach you what to say, how to move interactions forward, how to be more charismatic, how to be more confident, how to not run out of things to say, how to build attraction, connection, and build the sexual tension and arousal that's necessary to pick these women up. But you have to understand there is two sides to pick up. There's two sides to seduction and there's two sides to success with women, which is the technical side in terms of what you say and how to move things forward and how you interact and using more advanced social skills to create influence, persuasion, and attraction with women. But then also real heavy emphasis on the internal side of things. And most of the stuff that actually holds guys back from having a lot of success is your fundamental core belief systems. And a lot of things that hold you back primarily is your limiting belief systems. So when it comes to belief systems, you have to understand between the ages of 1 and 7, the vast majority of your foundational belief systems or your core belief systems and value systems that are developed happen between the age of 1 and 7. And they're usually locked in on a subconscious level. Then also a lot of your belief systems will then start to progress during your adolescence. And then when it comes to the women and the social skill side of things, also a lot of the belief systems will come down to the reference experiences you're now having in the last 5 to 10 years with women. Now, belief systems are actually created usually from multiple reference experiences that confirm a specific belief. And usually these beliefs and references are attached to some form of authority. So it's usually from a parental figure, a teacher, or someone you have like a deep emotional connection with at some level. And once you hear something over and over and over and over again, the subconscious mind is almost like a computer, right? It's like it has the ability to be programmed. So when it hears something over and over and over again from your parents, let's say for an example, if they say over and over and over again that you as a guy have to be chivalrous with women, or your mum will tell you have to buy them flowers, you have to be a super nice guy, you have to be a gentleman, you have to be caring, etc. These are all like valuable belief systems that need to be cultivated as a young child and through adolescence to have dating success, 100%. But because some of those belief systems have been so heavily ingrained within you, sometimes being incredibly nice and being a gentleman and almost sometimes falling back into that more passive roles of a man where you like won't hold like really strong boundaries or you won't be able to have the ability to express yourself or challenge women, etc. This is where those limiting beliefs of always being the nice guy can actually impact your results with women. And that's just like one specific example of beliefs, but beliefs correlate into every single facet and area of your life. And when it comes to the dating stuff, we actually have to be very aware of what belief systems you guys are carrying. So I'll just give like a very basic example of like where belief systems can impact you and some of the reference experiences that I've actually seen with clients over the years kind of run into and how it actually is reflected into your reality. Because what happens with belief systems, they become self-fulfilling prophecies. So as an example, let's say you have a belief system that dating is really difficult, dating is really hard, or maybe let's say for you, for an example, Nathan, you've had a strong core belief system that to have success with women, it's like money matters. You have to be quite wealthy and very successful. That belief system, if that's ingrained heavily into your subconscious mind and you truly believe it as a choice of a belief, then what happens is you will manifest and create a reality that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So all you will do is confirm that belief in your dating life. So you'll come across girls that only care about money or you won't feel worthy enough or attractive enough or confident enough until you have a certain level of success. And then that will obviously then affect your ability to behave and communicate and socialize in the right way. And it's really going to hold you back. And there's like a variety of different things that guys struggle with when it comes to their belief systems. But to give some like core, like practical examples of how powerful this stuff is, your beliefs will literally be reflected to you within physical reality. Almost like the way I look at it is like, once you start to see the patterns of this, it almost becomes like a little bit eerie, because you literally will physically manifest your biggest insecurities and fears. One example, I had a client that came to us, and one of his biggest insecurities and fears is that if he was to ever do cold approach and meet a girl on the street, one of his biggest concerns was, I'm scared that someone is going to hurt me, fight me, tell me off, report me to the police, and what I'm doing is like creepy or weird, and it should not be done. And I feel like if I was to do it, someone's going to go and, step in front of me, square up to me, be aggressive, and potentially hurt me. Now, I'm not exactly sure where that specific belief system came from. I just know that it was really, really potent in his mind. Now, the funny thing is, out of the 7 or 8 years that we've been coaching, both myself and Ben have never had any issues with clients doing cold approach. The girls are always very kind. They always appreciate a guy coming up to them, giving them a compliment. The people that are running around the streets or in the shops and stuff observe the approaches happening in front of them. They never usually have an issue whatsoever. Like, the most that ever happens is someone will look at them weird and go, oh, that person's doing something a little outside of the ordinary. And then they go back to their phone, into their little narcissistic world, and they carry on with their day. But for the first time ever, I come out with this client, and literally the first approach that he makes, he approaches her, and unfortunately her boyfriend with 7 of his other little fucking esche friends were just behind this chick. He approaches her. She kind of like politely palms him off. No worries. But then she quickly goes back and tells the boyfriend. The boyfriend tells her 7 or 8 other esche friends what's happened. And then literally for about 40 minutes, these esches are following me and this client around, like heavily abusing us. Like, how dare you talk to my girlfriend? You're creepy. What the fuck? Get the fuck away from me. And it's like everything that this client, all of the fears and insecurities that he had, was literally manifested into physical reality for him to face and to deal with. And that's what reality is going to do for you guys as well. So any belief systems that you have and you hold on to them, you don't let them go, you're going to create more of that for you to face it. And you get a choice. It's like, I can either let go of that belief system and let go of those fears and those resistance that I feel to that specific belief, or I will just fucking falter to it, fail the test from the universe, and then continue to hold that belief system. Another example, which we recently had, is one of our clients. He was a police officer, and for him, one of his like core limiting beliefs holding him back is that he always felt a little bit like what he was doing also was wrong, or was creepy, or it was frowned upon. And back to back, he had these experiences where he was manifesting in his own world where women were like fucking false accusations about him in the workplace in terms of how he was interacting with women, like fake sexual harassment charges and things like this. So he manifested that as a reality. And because he had that fear, and it was held so strong in his belief system, he then would continue to manifest that over and over again. That's the thing with belief system, guys. It will keep popping up for you over and over and over again till you either learn to deal with it, let it go, surrender it, and change it, or it'll just keep popping up because that's a fundamental belief that you have. Anyway, first day of program, the exact same, which has never happened in the history of all of social freedom. And anyone that's watching this shit never happens. This is not going to happen to you if you do cold approach. Only if you have these crazy hardcore beliefs, maybe you'll manifest it, but most likely you won't. But what happened to him is the first 1 or 2 approaches that he made, all of a sudden, again, because he had a belief that what he was doing was wrong, he had a fucking police officer come and approach him and go, hey mate, what are you doing? And then asked for his ID and like engaged him and said, what are you doing? And then again, he had all of that shame and that guilt pop up as a man, feeling like it's not appropriate to go and approach women and have conversations. Now, I've been doing this shit for years, man, like years, all around the world, Western countries, Europe, Asia, everywhere. It's never an issue. But because he had this strong belief, he had to go and face that. He physically manifested that into reality. Other things that you guys will find as well, it's like, if you have a belief that you have to be incredibly charismatic, or your game has to be on point, or you have to be incredibly smooth to pick up women, I'm letting you know that belief system will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And until you reach a certain level of charisma or authenticity or a certain level of confidence, you will never be able to have any form of success. And that belief system that is determined by you, like that criteria of success will be determined by you. So you can only ever have success with women once you're truly, truly feeling confident. Like the gay thing about confidence is like it fluctuates. A true confident person actually understands that some days you're going to feel good, some days you're going to feel relaxed, some days you're going to be in flow, some days you're going to be in state, but some days you're going to feel like shit, you're going to feel pathetic, you're going to feel unattractive, and you're going to have sways in your emotions. And true confidence actually comes from acceptance. So when you have a belief system that you need to reach a certain level of confidence and charisma to get women, and you have to be at a pretty high level or be completely socially free, if you hold on to that belief system, now you're just going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Every single time you go out and you're not in flow, no chick's going to want to talk to you. You're not going to get a number. She's not going to be interested. So you're going to be really, really careful with the belief systems that you cultivate and you ingrain. And the cool thing is, if you can start to change the belief systems by identifying them, recognizing them, accepting them, but then realizing belief systems are just a choice that has been conditioned. The belief systems are just a choice, right? They've been conditioned into you throughout the programming, throughout childhood and adolescence. Once you understand it's a choice to have that specific belief, once you understand you choose it, you realize you can actually choose a completely different belief system that's actually going to serve you instead of holding on to those limiting belief systems. And what you can actually get to the point of doing is you can start to integrate belief systems like dating is very easy and effortless. Or another example, you can have belief systems that like, I always attract women that just like me for me. And in that mindset, it's like, you don't need to be fucking tall or jacked or handsome or have success. It's like in your reality, you consistently just somehow synchronistically keep manifesting the women that just like you for you. And if you hold onto that belief system, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy and it will manifest in physical reality. I even got to the point in my journey where I started to experiment with this like a lot, that actually allowed me to kind of channel into my deep, deep, deep subconscious belief systems and understood that I can actually reprogram my subconscious mind to allow me to even get women to start approaching me, to get women to even invite me home, and have a certain level of consistency and ease in my dating life that I'd never experienced before due to belief systems. And I've started to experiment with this, with specific visualizations. Then also on top of that, guided meditations that allowed me to identify specific core beliefs that I could then identify, recognize, accept, realize that they were no longer serving me, change the belief system. So grab a new belief system that I believe was going to serve me more, integrate that into the subconscious. Then all of a sudden within physical reality, for the first time in my entire life, out of doing like maybe 5 or 6 years of pickup at this time, maybe it was like about 5 years, for the first time ever, which had never happened before, women started actually actively approaching me in bars and clubs. Girls were randomly sitting on my laps and like hitting on me. I wouldn't even have to invite girls home. Girls were inviting me home. You can literally get to the point where you can integrate belief systems like that on a consistent basis to create the reality in which you prefer. This is real. This is my experience. And I've noticed over and over again with clients that truly integrate the belief system work of what we teach, they get the craziest results. It's like Maya last week. He truly embraced a lot of the timeline shifting concepts that we talk about. And like, this is kind of like a small segue into timeline shifting and talking about these concepts, because belief systems is basically how you start off the timeline shifting and the visualizations and like having the power of manifestation to work to your advantage. But Maya truly embraced it. And it was like crazy to see, like once he truly, his belief, what was he saying is like, women love me and then the universe loves me. And he just kind of stepped into true synchronicity. Every girl he approached, which is very rare for this to happen, every girl he was approaching throughout program, all single, emotionally available, receptive, were engaged with him. And he was I think he only ever really did about 2 or 3 approaches every single day. And he was doing back-to-back instant dates, took a few girls home. He had like the craziest results. And honestly, like I'm like fucking, his social skills were lacking, man. Like he obviously followed our framework and learned a lot, but it was a lot of the belief system work that we did with him that allowed him to step into that level of synchronicity. So I want to put emphasis on that, because if you guys can combine the social skills that we teach on this program with the deeper belief system work and start being really aware of the limiting beliefs and also the new empowering belief systems you would prefer to integrate into your life, this is what's actually going to get you the most effortless results. This is where the true skill set comes from. And you'll notice the more you integrate belief systems like dating has always been very effortless and easy for me, and women just like me for me, and you don't have any of those limiting beliefs pop up, you're just going to notice that you walk around reality and like everything's just a little bit easier. You don't have to do as many approaches. A lot more of the girls that you meet will all be single and emotionally available. You'll notice that the dates that you have are just like kind of objectionless. Like it's a lot more like, it's just kind of like smooth. You just get to sit back, relax, and enjoy the process instead of always trying to fight to do the next thing. Like, what's the next step? How do I spike her emotions? How do I build attraction? Where do I need to take her in terms of the second location? When do I need to escalate? When do I need to pull? Obviously, we're going to teach you the skills to do that, but you get to the point with the belief systems that you are enough, that women just like you for you. Women, dating is very easy and effortless. When you can truly integrate this, then you can just kind of like, just chill out, man, and just allow the whole process to manifest before you. Now, one of the things that we talk about, which is the timeline shifting side of things. Not everyone is going to truly embrace my ideologies or my belief systems around this stuff. But belief systems are finicky things. It's like, I have a core belief system that we live in an illusion. It's like, we live in the matrix. None of this is fucking real. Everyone around me is just an NPC. And they're direct, on a spiritual level, everyone is a direct reflection of my emotions, belief systems, my consistent thoughts and my actions, and also just my consciousness. It's all just reflected to me. That's why, like, I notice it all the time. It's like, if you have, how like you meet people, right, that have maybe a traumatic childhood. Isn't it funny that those people always seem to attract other people that had like a traumatic childhood? Or maybe you're really successful and you have specific growth mindsets. You always start to consistently meet people that have growth mindsets. There's a certain level of synchronicity that comes with that. And you can't even explain it on a logical level why that consistently keeps happening. Or like one that might be like super relatable for you guys, just like to look at the social stuff. Have you ever noticed when you are incredibly positive and you're in free flow, you're feeling confident and you're having a good time, like every single person that you interact with at work, at school, with your friends, in social settings, everyone just seems to be smiling back at you and like having a good time. But as soon as you're having a shit day and you're not feeling real good, super pessimistic, you're having a shit time, everyone in your reality and the illusion of the video game starts to be reflected of people are frowning, they seem angry, they're agitated, no one's reacting to you very positively. Start paying very close attention to that as an experience, because then you can start to kind of like see how everything is just a direct reflection of yourself. Now, the reason why I talk about that is because that's where timeline shifting comes in terms of the concepts I like to teach. So just when I talk about this stuff, I just want you to embrace it as a concept, just as like a fun mindset, just for fun throughout these 5 days. You don't have to believe in it, but just embrace it as an ideology. The way I look at things is, there is an infinite amount of parallel realities in which we exist in, and we already exist in them. There is a reality where both of you guys are already absolutely crushing it with women. It's already easy, it's effortless, women just like you for you, right? Those are the core fundamental belief systems. But there also are realities where you're broke, Nathan, or David. You have completely different circumstances. Like, I don't know, you're in a wheelchair. There could be other circumstances where you guys are just living very mediocre lives. There's other circumstances where you're very rich, whatever. You have an infinite amount of parallel realities in which you can tap your consciousness into. And the way I look at it is, if you learn how to use the visualizations and tap into a specific emotional frequency, you can actually shift your consciousness into a parallel reality in which you can have the things reflected to that you want and desire. I know it sounds crazy, and maybe it is. Maybe what I'm saying is complete bullshit, but just for the fun of it, let's play around with belief systems and see what we can do in terms of the reflections in reality as we go out and do pickup and we meet these women. Let's see if you can start to see a direct correlation with how you're feeling internally and how your belief systems are actually helping you navigate the world of dating. Now, the ideology is, paradoxically, there's an idea called like determinism. So your reality has already been predestined for you, right? If you want to look at it from a spiritual perspective. Everything that's already happening right now in this room has already happened. It's already been laid out. It's like a roadmap or a plan that's God's, or whatever, the fucking universal, the extraterrestrials that have put us in the video game, whatever it is, have put out before us, right? That's determinism. It's already been pre-planned. Then we also have the illusion of free will, which is actually having control of our reality. The way I look at belief systems and using meditation and visualizations and timeline shifting concepts to manifest more of what you want in your reality is understanding you have both the combination of free will and determinism at your convenience. So what we want to do is, when we want to use these visualizations that I'm going to teach you guys to shift into a reality that's already been predetermined, that you're already going to have success. So the choice that you have in terms of the visualizations is you can pick the reality in which you want to experience, but within that reality, everything is already being predetermined. And that's how you can kind of detach, let go, kind of surrender to the universe and just allow like the results to come into your life by programming the subconscious mind, having new belief systems, which will then shift you into a parallel reality where you see reality through a completely different lens. And then within that reality, the results are already there. They're coming. They've already been predetermined in terms of how you're going to get there. Just trust the process in which you're going to be pushed through by the universe, because it's going to take you on a bit of a journey, but eventually you'll get there. And that's what I'm wanting to do today is I want to teach you guys specific visualization techniques and also a step-by-step process on how to identify your limiting belief systems, how to understand why you've actually chosen those specific beliefs, and then also understanding how those specific belief systems by you recognize that they somehow serve you. And that's the craziest thing about belief systems. It's like, it's all a choice. You choose to have them, and we can actually acknowledge them, recognize them, and then let them go. And I'm going to teach you literally right now a step-by-step process on how to do all of that. So that way on a subconscious level, we can reprogram the subconscious to integrate new beliefs to help you manifest more of what you want in your reality, so we can have more dating success and make things a lot more easy and effortless. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, if you are someone that wants to make sure that you don't make a lot of social mistakes in your social settings, or when you're going out there and doing cold approach or trying to improve your dating life, and you want to become the best version of yourself, you want to become more attractive, you want to become more charismatic, you also just want to go and meet and date and connect like high quality women on a consistent basis, and you want to learn a skill set by doing this through the process of cold approach without having to rely on dating apps, learning how to meet women in everyday situations, beaches, parks, malls, shopping centers, wherever it might be, and you just want to build more confidence, have higher self-esteem, and just be a fucking sick, then guys, we actually have some coaching services that we offer. We have a live 5-day immersion, and we also have a 6-month online mentorship, and we also have a video course too for the guys that might not want to do a high ticket coaching program but just want to dabble and get some more concepts like this that we don't post here on YouTube. Then we have services like that, and the way that you do that is click on the link in the description to book a free consultation call with either myself, Ben, or someone from our team for all coaching inquiries. And if you're not ready to do any coaching with us, then guys, if you still really enjoy this content, you get value from it, then guys, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I love to see the comment section. I love guys to give opinions, and maybe you guys can also share some of the social mistakes that you've seen yourself or other people that you've met make, and that way we can share more value, help awaken everyone to become better versions of themselves, and just become a bunch of sick. But until then, guys, gonna see you in the next video.